Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to the channel. Now, I haven't done one of these videos in a while, which is where I answer your burning questions. So I put a post on all the social platforms I have, so YouTube and LinkedIn and Instagram and all sorts, and I asked you, if you've got any questions, let me know, and I will answer them on this video here. So while I'm here at the Everything Electric show in London, I thought I'd just answer your questions. So let's jump into it. Haha, found the Mercedes. There's an EQS here, very nice, and a Mercedes EQV. That's got a lighter interior, but I think I'll take the EQS. More gadgets. Right, let's have a look at these questions then, guys. So, Tommy Shelby 577 says, would there ever be a situation when the car is moving that it would immediately drop down into limp mode A180? So, it depends on this one, because for those of you who don't know, limp mode is where an engine will basically regulate itself down to like a very slow speeds, like a crawl, so you can't go that fast. Could be due to a problem or something. So my question back to you would be, does it have an engine management light on? If it does, I'd advise to get that checked out. Or it could be user error. Hear me out here, I've done this before. There's a speed limiter on Mercedes, and I have accidentally turned that on before, and I thought myself years ago that I had like a problem with the car, but no, it's because I had the limiter on, so I don't know. Need a bit more info. If it's an engine management light, get that checked out by Mercedes, or if it's the speed limiter, then just press the CNCL button, the cancel button, then you should be back to normal. Hope that helps. Right, next question. All right, question 2. Hi Nick, my question is, I'm thinking of buying an E350 E or L, living in a very hot country with high humidity. Which Mercedes do you think is right for Asia? Wow. E350E, so that's obviously a plug-in hybrid. The L, I'm not so sure about. I have heard of this before. Is that a long wheelbase E-Class? Because I have heard around that side of the world, those do exist. They don't exist here. So I can only kind of make that comparison to S-Class here, because in the UK, there is a long wheelbase S-Class known as an S350 or S400DL for long wheelbase. So I'm assuming long wheelbase. I guess my next question would be, did you want to do the kind of heating or cooling in this situation from your phone and stuff? Because you could do that with the plug-in hybrid, but you won't be able to do that with the long wheelbase. But there again, do you need more passenger room in the back? Because that long wheelbase is quite good for rear passenger comfort. So yeah, I'd probably more sway toward the plug-in hybrid, but also depends if you can charge as well. So a couple of factors to consider there. Okay, at Lawrence8687 asks, Nick, please answer the following questions in your vid. You've got 3. It's meant to be 1 question each. All right, I'll make an exception for you. Number 1, have you ever met Ola, that's the CEO of Mercedes? No, I haven't. I mean, that would be amazing if I could one day, but yeah, no, I haven't. Not to date, anyway. Number 2, what profession do you need to buy a Mercedes or any other luxury car? I don't think it relies down to your profession. It's kind of needs, wants of a car, because we all have different needs and wants. And then also, obviously, how much money you have spare to justify buying, a premium or a luxury car. Mercedes obviously have all sorts of different cars, from A classes like what I've got, which is on the entry-level end. But then there's also S classes and EQSs and Maybachs or Maybachs, which can go sky high. I don't think it's down to your profession. It's going to be more like what you want from a car, and then also how much money there is to spend, because they can get quite expensive. Number 3, tell us a bit about your personal life, if you don't mind. For example, wife, kids. Well, I'm not married yet. Video coming soon on that, maybe. Don't have any kids, but we do have a dog at home. So yeah, a bit more about personal life. I go for runs. Literally went for a run this morning around London. Just a quick one. It was very windy. So follow me on Strava if you're into running, and yeah, sometimes hit the gym, trying to eat healthy, and just put out more vids to help everyone out on YouTube. Okay, next question. Simon J. Bridges asks, is there a new A-Class coming out? Simon J. Bridges, I'm not sure, honestly, because Mercedes did actually they kind of hinted that they were discontinuing the A-Class a few years ago. Then it was kind of continued on, so it was still being sold today at the time of recording this. But then it's kind of hinting that they might do it again. Honestly, it's a bit of the unknown. I think some news articles out there point to that they are discontinuing it, and then some people are in the hope that it will continue. So I'm not 100% sure. If I do know, I will let you know. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll keep you guys in the loop. My hope is that they do keep it going, because it is a very popular car in the UK. But I do appreciate in larger countries out there like America and things, that they do like their saloons and SUVs. So not sure on that one, but keep an eye out and I'll keep you posted. Okay, Ulsterfry214 asked, is there a way to disable the speed adjusted automatic volume in a 2025 GLC 43? I've gone through every menu in MBUX and I can't find a setting for it. You're right, I do actually have a Mercedes GLC on test at the moment. Sadly, it's not the 43, but I haven't found that either. I did notice it. It's more so like when you're driving 30 to 40 miles an hour at speed, and then the volume goes slightly louder, and then of course when you come to a stop at like a traffic lights or in traffic or something, the volume then goes down. It's quite clever, but I do notice it more on this one. Sadly, I've not found a way to adjust that, but if I do find a way, I'll be sure to make a video on it. I'll do like a YouTube short or something. Harold Butcherson 1877 says, Parktronic, easy quick demo please. Sadly not at Mercedes currently, but this is how you do it. You drive past the space that you want to park in, needs to be bay or parallel parking, press the button. You can either do it before or after. It will come up on screen and direct you exactly what to do, and I will link below a demo of Parktronic. But maybe I should make a quicker one. Rightly so. Maybe next time or somewhere in the summer I should make a very quick video on how to do park assist. Now, this person asks, how do I get rid of the welcome back message on my GLC, please? It drives me crazy. Yes, I know exactly the one you mean. It's the one that goes, welcome back, Nick O'Leary.
Good afternoon, Nick O'Leary.
Every time. Or then the sound effect when you get in, it goes, Jesus. Yeah, I actually have both of those off in my car. I did a video, when was it? January 2024 or February 2024. About that, so I'll link it below, but then also it's under Home, Settings, System and Audio, and then Greeting Tone. Then it's Home, Settings, System, Voice Assistant, and then I think there's Activate Your Profile under Proactivity, something along those lines anyway. I have both of those off, and also the one where it says about you forgot your phone. I don't need it to do that, so yeah, they're both off in my car. Hi Nick, is there any way to set a comfort volume so that when you click on the profile, the volume automatically adjusts to your preferred level? This way, if another user likes it very loud, but then you like it quiet, you won't get a shock. Yeah, that would be quite a good feature. Mercedes actually don't have that. That has caught me out many, many times, even by myself. So I only have one profile in my car, and yet I've managed to shock myself. So I've driven back on the evening before, probably had the music a little bit loud, and then in the morning I get a bit of a shock when it turns on. No, sadly Mercedes don't have a start-up volume. That is a feature request I wish they had. Now, David Martin 5099 asks a very, very good question. Is there a new GLA car or revamped face change coming this year? My GLA is 3 years old. Car service MOT obviously coming soon. I don't know for this year, and honestly guys, if I know anything and I of course could share it with you, I will let you know. You all will be the first to know about any new Mercedes coming. Honestly, I don't think it's this year, just because there's strong rumours indicating from quite a few sources that next year Mercedes are releasing lots and lots and lots of new models. Could be new models and facelifts, so they kind of fall into one kind of category. But for the GLA specifically, I'm not 100% sure, because it could fall into the same kind of category as the A-Class. So the A-Class is that sort of 50-50 being discontinued, not really sure. I think it might be. GLA could be as well. It'd be a shame to see it go if it does. So it's just a bit of the unknown, but as I said, if I hear anything, I will let you know. I hope they do, because some of the new designs coming out of Mercedes at the moment look pretty cool. Although I don't know what they're going to do with the widescreen display on the GLA. Maybe they copy what is being done in the CLA. I'm not sure. I'll keep you in the loop. Hi Nick, I've always wanted to know, when using adaptive cruise control and the car automatically slows for traffic congestion, do the brake lights illuminate for traffic drivers following me? Yes, anything more than engine braking. So you know when you're driving down the road and you take your foot off the accelerator pedal and the brake pedal, forgetting about brake recuperation, and you know where an engine would slow you down just a little bit? Anything more than that, whether it be through speed limiter, adaptive cruise or brake regen, yes, your brake lights will come on to let people know behind you that you are slowing down. So yeah, Mercedes have thought of that, don't worry. Let's do something about tyres. Best tyres for various models, perhaps. Honestly, I'm not completely clued up on tyres. I do and will appreciate that there is a huge difference between budget tyres and premium tyres. I would always lean more towards a premium tyre just because of the stopping distances, because some of these cars out there, especially some EVs, are very fast these days. Cars, just the kind of acceleration curve of how fast they are these days is insane. So I'd always go for something with greater stopping distances. But yeah, I might do something on tyres, because I think I might need to get some new tyres on my A-Class this year, because it'll be 2 years, believe it or not. I don't know where the time's gone. Make sure you're subscribed, because I'll hopefully do a kind of behind the scenes of a car being serviced. I'm hoping. I'm going to work with my local Mercedes-Benz on that one. But yeah, I might need to get some tyres, so watch this space. What does that fog lights button do on Mercs with no visible front fog lights? Mercs? Mercedes? I'm kidding. I made a joke because I know someone who hates the word Merc, who probably does actually watch this video, so yeah. So with fog lights, yes, you're absolutely right. There are no front fog lights on 99% of Mercedes. So what it actually does is just turn a single red light on, or sometimes dual, but most of the time single red light on the back. It's usually lower down because of the way fog is, so you should just be able to see it a bit clearer. But yeah, that's all it does. Just puts a red light on the back of the car. Alan Thompson 1387, can you set my A-Class to always start in eco mode when setting out on a journey? No, sadly not. Every car out there always starts in its default mode, which in Mercedes is comfort. I don't know if this was something to do with Volkswagen emissions scandal years and years ago with the whole emission regulation thing, but it was kind of roughly around that time onwards where I noticed virtually every car I certainly got my hands on where it always defaulted to that default mode, which of course in Mercedes is comfort. Slightly different with plug-in hybrids, it might be hybrid or electric, but for petrol diesel it's always going to start at comfort, so you have to change it per driving session. Scooty Webster says, for most 2025 release AMGs, they've changed or removed emotional start. You can no longer hold a paddle when engaging the ignition. How do you make it work? Sadly, I don't think you can, because Mercedes actually removed it, it was a few years ago now, so just no car has it now. I think it's something to do with noise regulations in the EU. They always still are fun. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that one, I'm afraid, because I don't think it's on cars. Certainly on the A35 I had on test and the few AMGs I've tested since, they don't have it. So sadly, I don't think there's a way around it. Paul Wiggerman says, how are you doing today? Here is a question from the USA. I'm doing very well, thank you very much for asking. Where are we? 21 plate, GLA 250. On the right side of the instrument panel there is a globe. My car doesn't have factory navigation, but how do I make this window work? Honestly, I'm not sure on that one, and the reason why I'm not sure is because specs vary so much. I always say that phrase so much in the videos, just because they do. Every Mercedes in the UK has sat-nav as standard, so to me that's like really alien that a Mercedes can be shipped without navigation, but obviously I guess this is just one of those things, specs vary. You're probably right in thinking it has something to do with the sat-nav, but honestly I'm not sure on that. I'd advise probably just speaking to your local Mercedes who can advise, because from the UK point of view every car has sat-nav, so sorry, I can't help on that one. 22 Bear Boy says, hi, the radio on my new GLA 250E randomly turns on by itself. Is there a way to keep that from happening? Well, it shouldn't be turning on by itself, but it depends what you mean by that. Is that the actual radio coming on, or is that like the screen coming on after you turned it off? If it's the radio, it could be traffic alerts or traffic announcements. Have a look on the top left-hand corner of the multimedia system. Have a look for TA. If that's there, press Home, Radio, Settings, and have a look in there to turn off traffic announcements, because that will turn it on randomly and you'll just get like the news every traffic announcements like every hour or so. But yeah, that could be that. I'm not sure if it's randomly turning on, but that's the only thing I can think of, so try that. James Shell 6977 asks, I've recently taken delivery of a new shooting brake 250E. Very nice indeed. I wouldn't mind one of those myself. What's the best way to use the battery in the hybrid system? As at the minute the battery is gone within a few hours, and during the day I can never recover anything back into the battery. That is because it is a plug-in hybrid, so it needs to be plugged in, hence the kind of name. It's not a self-regenerative hybrid. Plug-in hybrids run on electric, so you can in some instances drive it in like sport mode and then kind of keep it at like a certain RPM with the revs, and then that will actually put a bit of power back into the battery. And of course there's brake regen as well, or brake recuperation, but it won't ever charge the battery up fully unless you've got a big long mountain that you're driving down. So plug in where you can. That will of course save on fuel costs, that's the whole idea. But yeah, it won't fully recharge on its own. That's not the way plug-in hybrids work. Maybe I should do like a plug-in hybrid tips and tricks video. Let me know. Reply to this video down below and I might consider it. Alberto6581. Hi Nick, congratulations for the channel and thanks for all your videos. Oh my goodness, that is a very long message. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Give me a second just to read this. I just realised there's a very freaky rabbit head behind me, but anyway. So yes, I just quickly had to read through this, and your question relates to the traffic sign assist that a lot of Mercedes has. So in theory, the way it should work is, say you're driving down a motorway or dual carriageway, say for example on lane 1, and of course there's a slip road with quite clear speed limits which are a bit different to the road you're on. The car should, and I use the word should, detect that you are on the road you're on and not going on that slow road, and it shouldn't change. Same for on the back of trucks and lorries that have that little sticker sometimes saying this car is limited to 50 miles an hour. It shouldn't change, but this is where Mercedes use the word traffic sign assist. It is an assistance system, and us as a driver, we are fully responsible for what happens in the car, so keep an eye on it, and if it doesn't do what it's doing, then you just press the cancel button and override it, because we are driving a 1.5, 2.5 ton car, so yeah, safety is of course the most important thing. But for those long distance journeys, it really does help and take off that kind of stress from, yeah, sat behind the wheel for like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. So yeah, it shouldn't do it, but in case it does, just keep an eye on it. Now K-MK6UV says, hi Nick, I have a C-Class 2025 model. When I double lock to disable keyless, it still allows me to use the keyless entry when I am next to the car. It shouldn't do. So I use it all the time, turning off keyless, because when I have a car on test, I turn off the keyless for when I actually clean it, because obviously with the sponge and stuff and the water, it'll keep unlocking and locking all the time. So I haven't come across a model where that doesn't work. Just make sure you're doing it the correct way. Yours is a C-Class 2025 model, so the method is slightly different to just pressing the lock button. In fact, I have a key with me at the moment, I can show you. So the old method used to be just pressing lock twice. And when you do that, there's no red LED that stays on for a long period of time. You have to hold lock and press unlock twice very quickly. It's a weird kind of combination, and I think it's to stop accidentally doing it. So hold lock, press unlock twice. If you watch really closely on that bit there, lock, unlock, red LED stays on for just a little bit longer. That is now turned off. I know that for a fact. So yeah, just try that method. If that's still not working, reach out to Mercedes. I'm sure they'll check it out for you. Hi Nick, big fan. When do you think the screen in the new CLA... That looks cool. When do you think the screen in the new CLA will come to the GLA or GL models, particularly GLE and GLS? Well, thanks first and foremost for being a big fan. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. When do I think the screen's coming to the new CLA? Sorry, to other models. I honestly don't know. I know that Mercedes-Benz are bringing out lots of new models next year. Well, I've heard lots of rumours that they're doing it anyway. So whether it be new models or facelifts, upgrades, that sort of thing. So potentially, I don't know. Mercedes, if you notice, have like different design elements. So they have things like the A-Class, B-Class, CLA, GLA. They have like that widescreen across the whole dashboard. But then models like the C-Class, EQE, EQS all have the portrait vertical screen, So the CLA's got a completely different design. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go into other models. Would be cool to see. We'll have to wait and find out. Oh, and before I go, what features, design elements would you like to see in the new Mercedes models? Digital key on every Mercedes model would be amazing. The fact I could then unlock my car with my phone is pretty cool. Guys, if you haven't seen that, I'll link that below, but that is a really, really, really cool feature. In terms of other things, I would really, for those of you that watch a few of my videos, you'll know that I like Apple CarPlay. I would love that new gen Apple CarPlay to come out on all Mercedes models, but it's been radio silent ever since, so my hopes are extremely high for that, but I don't think that's happening. In terms of other features, I don't know, Mercedes has got quite a few gadgets. I'm quite happy with a lot of what they have on their cars, hence why I'm a bit of a fan of what they do, but I'll have to think about that one, let you know. And finally, from Monkey Pants 1, what a username. My Mercedes app has suddenly started notifying me my 74-player EQA has limited internet connection. I've had that before. It's a kind of yellow message that appears on the app, and it basically means just that the car's limited connection. Now that could mean a variety of different things. Could be the mobile phone signal, just might not be coming through. I've had it once before when I phoned Mercedes from the car. The data connection bit doesn't work, so maybe it's doing a software update or something, I'm not sure. So give it a couple of days, check it out in a few different areas, see if it changes. If it doesn't, then I'd advise reaching out to Mercedes and see what they say. So there we go then, guys. That is all the questions on the YouTube post. Now I have answered a few more on my Instagram handle, so follow me on Instagram down below. And if you liked this style of video, let me know in the comment section down below, and I might just reply to your comments. But guys, thank you so much. Until next time, see you then.